go over the proffer with her real quick?
Okay. You need a couple minutes with her?
Yeah.
Okay.
That way there she understands. We gotta get it all signed here. Okay. How well is your reading?
Good.
All right. Warm enough?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so follow along, because I like to read the whole thing. So it's a letter written to me. So based upon our earlier conversation, it is my understanding your client, Kaitlyn Coones, is willing to provide an off-the-record proffer, which means talking, regarding matters of interest to this office, in order to ensure that there are no misunderstandings concerning the meaning of off-the-record proffer. I'm writing to clarify the ground rules, okay? So, I mean, you've already given interviews to the FBI and things like that, so the worst of the worst is already out there, okay?
Right.
But in this conversation we're gonna have, I don't know what else may pop up. So I'm gonna cover, it protects you for anything new that might come up in this thing, okay? So first, no truthful statement made by your client, and the key word is truthful, or any other accurate information provided by your client during the off-the-record proffer or discussion will be used against your client in any criminal case during the state's case in chief, unless your client tells any untruths.
Right, like
Okay.
you're telling me.
And they'd have to, show that one way or the other, okay? If one or more untruths are told, then this entire proffer may be used against your client in any future hearings or proceedings. So this has to be one of those statements that just say, do you understand? I'm going to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. And if I try to play them, everything I say can be used against me, okay? Second, the state may make derivative use. You know what derivative means? All right, so they can take what they have here and go check out something over there that's not related to this case, okay?
So if I tell them about like how he was basically trafficking me,
Yeah, they can use that, but things that may involve your criminal behavior too, in something else, all right?
Okay.
So they can chase things out from here, but here's the deal. So they can go chase it out, use derivative use of any information, and may pursue any investigative leads suggested by the statements or any information provided by your client. This provision is necessary in order to eliminate the necessity for a Cassinger hearing, which just is a case name, at which the state would have to prove that the evidence it would introduce at a trial against your client is not tainted by any statements made or any information provided by your client during the proffer or discussion. Should the investigation reveal incriminating evidence not revealed by your client in his proffer, her proffer. So you give them everything, all right? So if something goes off in that direction and don't hold anything back, okay? Because if whatever you hold back and they found out you hold back, then they can bring additional charges should you not have told them. But if you tell them, they can't. That make sense to you?
Yeah.
All right. This also helps to ensure that the proffer is both candid. You know the word candid? Candid is very honest, open, straightforward, okay? And complete. Okay? Does that make sense to you?
Whole story, but the truth, yeah.
Okay, so it just means open, honest. There used to be a show on TV called Candid Camera, where they would catch people doing kind of crazy things, or they would come up to them and they try to trick them, and you would get their response to it, which is like, it means, it's like in the moment. There's nothing they're trying to what's the word I want to say, shade it one way or the other. That's what candid means, just straightforward, okay? So third, if your client is a witness at any future trials, okay, so at Jonathan's trial, okay, or court proceedings, and offers testimony materially different from any statements made here or other information provided during the proffer, the attorney for the state may cross-examine you concerning any statements made or other information provided during this time that they're going to be talking to you, okay? That's what a proffer is. This provision is necessary in order to ensure that your client does not abuse the opportunity for the off-the-record proffer or discussion. Number two, does not make materially false statements to a government agency. And three, does not commit perjury when testifying in a future grand jury and or court proceedings. So in other words, they're gonna hold you to what you say here. So if you get on the stand and you totally change your story and say, no, it was me, not Jonathan, they can say, but didn't you give a proffer and didn't you say the things that you said here? That makes sense?
Yeah.
Is that fair?
Yeah.
Okay. Fourth, the state may use any statement made or other information provided by your client to rebut evidence and or testimony or arguments tendered by or on behalf of your client, which are different from what you say here. So in other words, this will box us in to what you would say at trial, okay? And that's, so if it changes and they're surprised by the change, they can say, well, didn't you say this here at this proffer, okay?
Right.
That's to ensure that no one's playing anybody here, okay? And you're not playing them and they're obviously not gonna play you, okay? That's why this is, they can't use any of this stuff that we say here today against you. This provision is necessary to ensure that no court or jury is misled by receiving information materially different from that provided here today, okay? In addition, I want to emphasize that the above mentioned examples are not totally inclusive of the uses the state's making your clients off the record proffer or discussion. In other words, this is not the limit, they can pretty much go look around at anything this might lead them to. Fair enough? Mm-hmm. Okay. Fifth, your client hereby waives any and all claims, should be she, could otherwise assert pursuant to both Evidence Rule 408, which is compromise and offers to compromise, and the Ohio Rules of Evidence, admissibility of pleas, offers of pleas, related statements regarding the admissibility of statements or other information supplied during this proffer. This provision is necessary to ensure that the express and implied remedies heretofore reserved for the state may be properly effectuated. So in other words, there's a thing in the law that says, well, we were kind of negotiating something, and this is what that negotiation was leading to. You can't use that at trial against me if I don't take the deal, okay? And they're saying, if you change your story in any way, shape, or form, they can use whatever's said here, okay? Mm-hmm. So it says, I, Kaitlyn Coones, hereby acknowledge, you know the word acknowledge?
Understand.
Aware of? Well, you actually declare that I have read the terms and conditions of this proffer, and that my attorney has explained these terms and conditions to me. I have discussed the terms and conditions of this letter with my attorney. So you got any questions at this point?
No.
Okay. And I understand my rights and obligations pursuant to the agreement. I understand that I have a right to remain silent and to not discuss any matters that may incriminate me. I nevertheless desire to pursue negotiations with the government and hereby knowingly, voluntarily, and intentionally waive such right to remain silent and willing to agree to make statements and answer questions according to the terms of this proffer letter. Okay? So, I need your signature here.
It's terrible.
Your handwriting can't be any worse than mine.
I've been to school since like 12. For real.
When was the last time you were actually in school?
I told you since I was 12. I went to school
12?
when I was in rehab, but...
Okay. You gotta remember I'm old and sometimes I can't hear too well.
That's an excuse. That's an excuse.
Especially when like my son, he mumbles and talks with his mouth closed.
He does.
Yeah, he kind of talks like this all the time.
I do too.
Yeah, it's kind of a self-confidence thing with him. He grew up in Denmark. He moved when he was like 3 or 4. And so he also had an older sister who just answered everything. And if anyone asked him any questions, she would answer for him. And it drove me nuts. Okay. All right. We're all set to have a conversation. Any questions before we start?
I'm just anxious, that's all.
Hmm?
I'm just anxious, that's
Okay.
all.
And that's a
I cried before you came in here.
That's a perfectly normal reaction. You get to be normal the rest of your life, okay?
Okay.
All right, let me go get them. Oops,
Yeah, you could.
didn't want me running away, huh?
Thank you.
This is much nicer than TPD.
Is it now? Yeah, it is. I've been there. It is a little nicer.
So I'm Erin Kennedy, I'm the prosecutor on this case. My understanding is you want to speak with us today. Is that correct? Okay, and you've waived your right to remain silent, you're here with your attorney, correct? Have you read this proffer agreement?
Yes, I have.
Okay, do you understand what's contained therein?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if any part of what is not truthful is said here today, we can completely disregard this agreement. Okay, and we can also subject you to a polygraph test. Do you understand that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and you still want to speak with us?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is for you. This is your chance to help yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tell your side of the story. I know you've already made statements before. So what I want you to do is just start, tell it from the beginning to the end. Don't leave anything out. I'd ask for you to be truthful. I don't want to be pulling things out of you. This is your chance to help you, okay?
You want to speak loud enough for the,
Yep.
because this is being recorded, okay?
So I'm probably gonna let Detective Albright take the lead on this. I'll have some specific things, but like I said, I wanna hear what happened. I want you to be truthful, and I've got some specific things I'll come back with, okay?
We've met before. I'm Detective Albright, and I want to kind of I'm gonna follow the timeline of what we know happened in all this, okay? And some of this has been found through, physical evidence investigation and by your own admissions. So we'll kind of keep it to this for the major outline, and then if you have any details you want to add or any specific things we want to know about, we'll work that out. So, Jonathan Jones, what relationship did you have with Jonathan?
I don't know what to say about that type of relationship. I would say, like, at first, like, it was just a friend, then boyfriend, but then, like, just a manipulator. Like,
Okay.
he just abused me and stuff like that. So I don't know what you would call that.
Okay. In what way did he abuse you or manipulate you?
He raped me multiple times and stuff like that.
Did you ever have a consensual relationship with him?
For a minute, yes, we did.
Okay.
Would you define a minute? What do you mean by a minute?
Like, so like the 2 months, I was with him for 3 months back before he caught the case that he caught for the kidnapping and sex crimes against me. For the 2 months, it was consensual, but then after a while, he wouldn't let me leave. Like, he would threaten to kill himself and stuff like that. So I stayed with him, but he would rape me and stuff whenever I would be asleep. And then before the case that started just now or whatever, before, what happened or whatever, I was with him or whatever, but I specifically, like, told him before everything happened that, like, I did not want to be at the house unless she knew that I was at the house. Because prior to it happening...
We'll slow down.
Okay. Sorry, that was a little bit too much.
Well, no, I know how I've been with you enough to know I want you to back up. Let's talk about what happened down in Wood County. All right.
When he got the charge specifically related to you, which led to his troubles with Wood County Court.
So basically, his mom kicked us out of the house or whatever after finding out that the food was going on in her house, and he did the same thing that he did to me. He was basically like, well, kill me, just kill me, and then, he just ended up leaving her at the house, and we left. And that's when we started living in the streets. We went and stayed at his friend's house, and then
Who's the friend?
I don't know the friend's name.
Where did he live?
Like, it was I feel like it's an apartment because it's like this was this side of his friends, and then this was somebody else's, and then it was like a garage, like there was a car here.
Was this in Bowling Green? What's this?
No, it was here in Sylvania or
Okay.
whatever. I just don't know exactly where we're at. but why that happened or whatever, he was taking pictures of me, and at first, like, I was into it, like, I was involuntary, like, it was consensual at first, but then it turned into unconsensual or whatever. Like, he was just going a little bit too far with it by raping me and then hitting me and all, like, spanking, all types of craziness or whatever. But how the case got started or whatever is we were walking, I got overly intoxicated at a motel or whatever, and we were walking, and like I was just sluggish, I didn't know what was happening, and the officer, like, they asked me and stuff, and then like I couldn't even speak to them, like, truthfully I didn't know what was happening.
Where was this?
It was like a truck lane, I don't know where it was at, but it was like a hotel or motel, and then there was like a truck lane, and then there was like a gas station, and we came back from the gas station, but we were walking in the truck lane or whatever. They pulled us over because we were in the truck lane, and they thought that I was trying to prostitute right there in the truck lane, but I wasn't prostituting in the truck lane. And they took me and they took him, and he had a gun on him, he had marijuana on him, and they charged him with kidnapping and sex crimes because prior to that I got taken from the Emily's program where I was in there for my eating disorder. That's how that whole case got started for that.
Okay, so this was back in 2022.
October of 2022.
Yeah, so you guys get stopped, is that a truck stop somewhere in Wood County, down south of here?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay.
I don't know exactly where it was at.
So the officer encounters you guys at the truck stop, because a lot of things go on at those places, and I've seen the report, and somehow, some way, the officer ends up finding pictures of you either on his phone or your phone, something of that nature. Is that correct?
Yeah, he had pictures of me. He has a whole bunch of pictures of me. And then not on top of that, then he has pictures like that I've sent him or whatever back whenever we very first met.
Okay. So based upon that, he gets charged in Wood County, ultimately gets convicted of those crimes related to that incident. Then the judge lets him out, waiting on his sentencing, okay?
Right.
Now, let's fast forward and we get to 2023, okay? And then around April, prior to April, you'd been in the hospital, correct? Out in Canton?
Yeah, the auto accident.
I was in Cleveland.
Cleveland,
Yeah.
okay.
I had my car accident where I had a traumatic brain injury or whatever, and I got out of the hospital, and I was staying at this group home.
How long were you in the hospital?
Like 2 months.
Okay. And why were you there so long?
I don't even know why I was there for so long. I think it's because my caseworker was trying to find me treatment, a treatment facility, or like somewhere for me to go, basically, like placement, because like I have so many issues. Like I have my self-harming, my depression, and then my anger and my aggression problems.
So you would say that you've had a lot of issues. You're probably well known in Canton, Stark County because of all those issues,
Yeah,
right?
I have a bad running away history.
So they were having some issues finding a place for you to go, correct?
Right.
Okay. So at some point were you in the hospital, did you become friends with someone? A nurse?
No, I did not become friends with no nurse.
No?
No.
And that you conversed with?
There was what was her name? I don't even remember the person's name. I know there's somebody, like there was a lot of like sitters and stuff that like I talked to and stuff, but
This particular person, she called you Kit Kat. You remember who that is?
no, I do not remember.
Okay. Rebecca Callahan?
No, I don't remember who that is.
Okay. Because you exchanged many texts with her and told her about some of the things that you were involved in, and ultimately that information came to us, and then this whole thing transpired, and here we are.
Kaitlyn, you don't remember telling her I killed someone?
No, I don't remember ever saying that. I never had my phones whenever I was with Jonathan, so I don't. I talked about this with multiple people from my, like, that's involved in my case, because they showed me the messages, but like I got my phones back whenever I came back from Mexico, so I don't know what happened with what was going on with that.
You didn't have your phones the entire time you were with Jonathan? Okay. All right, well, I'm gonna let you keep going. Okay.
I mean, I did have my phones, but I didn't have my phones, if that makes sense.
No, explain it.
So, like, whenever I was on the run with Jonathan or whatever, like, my whole mind, right? I, like, totally, like, I don't remember anything that happened. I don't remember anything that happened. All I remember is, like, waking up multiple times, going right back down. Waking up multiple times, going right back down. There is point in times where I do remember being on my phone, but I don't specifically remember ever texting nobody. But most of the time, though, Jonathan had my phone. He was doing black internet web stuff, looking up maps to Mexico and all that type of stuff. So I never paid attention to him with that because I didn't mess with him. I thought that he was dangerous. So that's what I'm saying.
Okay. So you are at this group home now. After you get out of the hospital, they put you in this group home in Canton area, right? And at some point, you leave there.
Right.
And make your way to Sylvania, to Jonathan's house. Is that correct?
Right.
Okay. How did you get to Jonathan?
So he arranged for me. He was, I guess, this is what I figured out. So he basically, I guess, he was sending pictures of me that he already had from all the way back from Wood County case or whatever. He was sending a whole bunch of, like, bad, inappropriate pictures or whatever to this person, and was saying, like, oh, she will do stuff for you to get her right down here or whatever. But I didn't know that. So whenever I got in contact with the person, I'm like, well, I'm at the time 17 or whatever. I was like, and I'm not really trying to do that stuff or whatever. I'm like, can I just get a free ride without having to do anything or whatever? So the person comes, and like halfway through the ride or whatever, we had to end up doing stuff because that's what Jonathan, I guess, promised him or whatever. And that's when I ended up getting, it was like Chauvin's Tavern or something like that. That's where the car ended up at, was Chauvin's Tavern. And after I got out of the car, I went into Chauvin's Tavern. Well, before we went in there, we hugged and stuff, and we were like, I miss you and stuff. And after that, we went into Chauvin's Tavern, and we sat down, and we were just talking about everything that happened, like him being locked up, and what happened with me. I showed him my scar and stuff and told him that I was in a car accident again or whatever, just basically repeating everything. And then after that, that's when he was like, well, we have to stay out or whatever until my mom goes to sleep. And I'm like, that's weird, I'm not about to stay out until your mom goes to sleep. But mind you, we started smoking, drinking or whatever, and so basically he had alcohol already on him and then weed already on him, but we started smoking and drinking or whatever, and we're just walking around going places. We went to this one abandoned house that they were like redoing that was near the house or whatever, and he tried to mess with me. I was like, no, and stuff, and like I kept telling him, I was like, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to the house. I'm not going to the house. Like, if she don't know that I'm there, then I don't feel comfortable. I'm already on the run. That makes me feel paranoid that I have to go into her house and her not know that I'm there. And so then at some point, I guess that we ended up at the house or whatever, and next thing I know is that I wake up.
All right. How'd you get in the house?
I don't remember.
Okay. Where were you staying while you were in the house?
In his room. It's like this. So the door right here, then right here, then right. The bathroom's right here. The door's right there. That's his room.
Okay.
And then like whenever I was staying in his room though, like when I woke up or whatever, he blocked it off or whatever. But I guess you're asking me more questions. But that's when I woke up and I'm like,
What do you mean by blocked it off?
like he had like his dresser, not dresser, but like the tent, he had 10 foils in there. So like back whenever I was living with him, he kept his clothes and stuff into the not foils things, the bin things, and he had the bin things back up against the door or whatever. And like that's how it was when I woke up, and I was just like, and then like he was right there, and I'm like, and I told him, I was like, what's happening? He talked about, whisper. No, I'm not whispering. What's happening? You know what I mean? And so I text on my phone, I'm like, you're gonna tell her that I'm here or whatever. I was like, I'm gonna give you 5 hours to tell her that I'm here or else I'm leaving. I have other guys that would happily take me. And then that's when I went back to sleep. Not sleep, like I laid down or whatever. I don't want to mess up my words. I was going back to sleep. And then like 30 minutes to like an hour, that's when I hear, babe, babe, babe. And I'm like I don't even know if I should get up. It's like that gut feel, like you just know something went wrong. So I like slowly like get up and I like walk out of the room. And then I walk this way. I'm like looking everywhere. Then I walk in and I look this way. And there she is on the ground. There's a rock by him.
Who's she?
You said who's she?
Yeah.
Nicole.
Nicole,
Jones.
his mother, okay. Go ahead.
There she is on the ground. He has his hands on her neck, and he's asking me to help him. He's like, babe, can you please help me? And I'm like, no. And then that's when I went to the couch and I lay down. And then I didn't even know what to do with myself. I literally kept saying, this can't be happening, this can't be happening. And then next thing I know, he picks up the rock, is banging her head more, and I'm like, no, this can't be happening, this can't be happening. And then after that, or whatever, after that happened, he told me we had to go to the store. And I went with him. I went to the store, he got cleaning supplies and a whole bunch of stuff. And we went back to the house or whatever, and then after that happened, he cleaned up the mess on the ground. He moved her body into he like turned her over or whatever, and then after that happened, he ended up packing up everything. He moved the body into the car. I helped him carry the body to the car, and then after that happened, he drove, and then he ended up cutting off his ankle monitor. Oh, no. I guess he had it on. I thought he cut it off before, but he drove to this apartment place, and he got out of the car. I got out of the car. And mind you, the body didn't feel the same the time that it felt whenever I was at the garbage can or whatever. Before, it was like, it wasn't as heavy, then it was heavy as soon as we got to the apartment place. And then after that, I helped him carry the body and dump it in the dumpster. And then after that, he cut his ankle monitor off. And then he fled, basically. That's what happened.
When you saw him in the kitchen with his hands around her neck, it was the kitchen, right?
Right.
Okay. Where at? I mean, it's a fairly good sized kitchen. Where specifically?
This is the fridge. And this is this. The body's right here. There's blood all around the head part. And there's even like brain matter over here. And he's standing over here with his hands right here. And the rock is literally like just like right there with blood on the top of it. And I'm all the way over here.
So he was calling your name while he was strangling her? Had his hands around her neck? How long did that go on? How long would you estimate that was going on?
I don't know. I really don't know. I was panicking. But I do know that, like, before I walked in, that he was banging her head with a rock or whatever, because there was stuff all over the ground. And there was blood on the rock.
Okay. Let me give you a little piece of information. So that GPS that he had on him, okay, we have those records that tells us where he was at, when, and for how long, okay? You were obviously with him. So after the killing, okay, you mentioned that you guys went and got cleaning supplies, right?
Right.
Okay. Did you put the body in the car first before you went and got the cleaning supplies, or did you leave the body there and go get
Body there.
You went and got the supplies. Where'd you go?
It was a tractor, but no, it was I don't know. All I remember is checking stuff out. I don't remember what store we went to.
Okay. And did you both go in the store?
Yeah, we both went into the store.
Okay. You got the items, you came back out, where'd you go from there? Back to the house? Okay.
I'm pretty sure we went. I don't remember anything. Like for real, like I really don't remember stuff or not word for word, but detail for detail. But I know at some point the stuff was bought, and I know at some point he was cleaning it up, and I remember at some point we went to the apartment complex, and I know at some point he was packing up the stuff. That's what I know.
Okay. What happened to all the cleaning supplies?
He throws it all away
And where? Where did they get
in a
thrown?
trash bag that he bought from the store.
Okay. And so it was put in the trash bag. What do you do with the trash bag?
He set it out for trash day because he said it was trash day.
The next day?
He said that because he lived there or whatever, he said that the trash day was going to be the next day, so he left it out.
Yeah, it was written right on the refrigerator. That the trash day is the next day. Yeah. So the body itself, you guys, so after the cleanup, you guys put the body where?
We put the body in the back seat of the car.
The back seat or the trunk area?
Like he laid down the seats or whatever, and the body was like right there.
Okay. Because it's like a hatchback type car, right? And then, okay.
It was her car, her van.
All right. So did you just throw her back there or?
No, he was like scooter.
Scooter, okay, but what was she in? I mean,
He wrapped her up in a tarp or whatever. It was like both tarps or whatever. He tried to do it with a trash bag at first, but it didn't work, so he did it with a tarp.
okay, so tarp the body up, put the body in the trunk, throw the items away, the cleaning supplies and whatnot. What happens then? Where you go from there?
After he puts it in the car,
Mm-hmm.
then he drives. I don't know where, how long, or where to, but I know. Like I'm trying to give you. I just know at some point he drives to the apartment complex and he jumps out, opens up the garbage thing, and that's when he gets the body. And I go back outside because he's like, babe, and I help him do it all over again.
So you help put the body in the trash or whatever it was?
Yes.
Okay. Well, so I see here that it looks like after the cleanup and putting the body in the trunk, you guys went to back to Sean's. Did you guys go to Sean's?
I don't remember that.
Well, you did, because I can see it right here. So you bought the supplies, you were at Lowe's. Now mind you, let me just tell you this, it is all on video. I have receipts for all this, okay? So the items that were purchased and the body was wrapped up in these items, and then that was at 5:20 that you guys left Lowe's. Went back to the house, right here on mission, and then by 6:36 p.m., you are back at Sean's Irish Tavern, okay? So at that point, the body's in the trunk because later on, it's not till 12:17 a.m. that the car goes to where the body was disposed of in the dumpster.
But I don't remember. I'm telling you, I don't remember.
You don't remember, but I'm telling you. Okay, that's what happened. So you're distraught that you just saw this killing. Okay?
Well, I walked in on it, but yeah.
Okay. You saw this. You're shocked at this whole thing, right? Things are fuzzy. But you go to Sean's.
I don't remember.
Get a little
going to
dinner.
Sean's, though. That's the
Okay.
thing. I don't, I
Well-
really don't remember. All I remember is, like, the big shit that happened, because the other stuff.
Well, that's why we're trying to figure this out together, okay? So I'm just telling you, and I'm filling in these spots, and maybe it'll click something in your head, okay? So from there, you guys go to the apartment complex and put the body in the dumpster, okay? And from the dumpster, you guys go to the Waffle House to get a little snack. Right?
I don't remember that.
I got video of you doing that too, okay?
I don't remember, that's what I'm trying to.
Then from 12:29 to 1:04 a.m. You go back to the house, you're there for a little while, and I think then later on, you guys, that next afternoon at 12:49 p.m., you leave and go to McDonald's. Then you go to Walmart, purchase some supplies. And then you go to, Meijer, and then back to the house. Back to Walmart on Glendale, Home Depot on Airport Highway, Meijer on
I thought
Center.
we left the same day.
Okay. Then you guys took her debit card and went to the bank, several banks as a matter of fact, and used her,
That's also another thing.
Debit
He
card.
said that he was happy that he got her money now or whatever, because she was complaining about how he wasn't even paying for the house and stuff, and that she don't even have the money for him to be even living with her. I know that's something that he commented about before, but I don't know why he kept pulling money. I know at some point I know that he was pawning off her stuff or whatever so that he could get money to go into Mexico.
yeah, we have all that too. We have all that stuff, we found all that, so we have it. And again, I'm gonna, you might hear me say this multiple times, but this is all on video,
I know.
or there's receipts to show where you're at. And everybody handles traumatic situations a little differently,
I don't know, I
okay?
felt like I was living a Lifetime movie. Like I felt like I was living a movie. I literally felt like this was just how I saw the situation with me and Jonathan was. I really just thought that he was somebody I loved. Like I really thought that, Harley Quinn or like Bonnie and Clyde type stuff or whatever. Like I really thought that like I was just his like partner in crime, but I wasn't doing the crime. Like I was just there for him, like, because I loved him or whatever, and I didn't want to leave him, but I was also scared to leave him, even though I loved him. Like, it's crazy, because I really did throughout being with him or whatever, try to leave or whatever, but that's when he started being more stricter with my phones and stuff. That's the reason why. I didn't even try to attempt to leave or whatever. He did hand me the gun and stuff and hand me the knives and was like, kill me right here, right now. But I didn't do that because I'm not capable of that. I know I'm not capable of that. I don't want to hurt somebody like that.
You still love him? Yeah. You're still gonna do what he says? Like right here, right now?
I want to see the fall for him so badly. He's the only person I have.
Really, what about Mr. Sorter up in Monroe, Michigan?
Who?
Mr. Sorter? I forget what it is, there's two of them. Kevin, maybe? I can't remember.
Couple years.
But according to that, you love him,
Who?
Sorter.
I
You've
don't
been
know.
talking with him from the jail. You're on audio telling him how much you love him and you want to do this, that, and the other to him. Very graphic, mind you.
Who? Oh, who? Are you talking about, I don't know who you're talking about. I've talked to one person being in this jail, or whatever. I talked to him when I very first came here, or whatever, because someone hooked me up with him, but it's still not, I told him that I still had feelings for Jonathan, though. It's the same thing. I told him I'm never going to be the same after this. I tell my parents that, too, all the time.
Does Jonathan know about him?
No, Jonathan knows that my family, he has support, or whatever, but he don't know about anybody else.
What would he say if he heard those calls? What would he say about that situation?
That I have a history of cheating. It doesn't mean that I don't love him, though. He knows that. I've told him that. Being high or whatever, I told him I was like, I remember this when I was very high. The one night I was like, I told him I was like, I was cheating on you when we very first met or whatever. But I told him I was like, it didn't matter though because I love you. He knows. It's just if he finds out, he's gonna be pissed. Cause I don't know. I just know he would be pissed though if he found out.
So
But I love him though. I really do love him. Like I really do want to take the fall for him.
Well, hold on a second. We don't want anybody to take the fall for anybody, okay? We just want the truth. And the truth is that,
Someone died, I know. Somebody that should have.
Let him finish.
in these other interviews, okay, that you had with the FBI agents down in El Paso and all this stuff, that you were very specific about what happened. Okay?
Right.
He was nowhere around. You're sitting in the room with two FBI agents in a locked facility. So he poses no threat to you. So you go into a story with explicit
Right.
detail.
Even
Oh,
talk-
stop. How you gave him a specific period of time to get rid of his mother, to kill his mother, because she was in the way keeping you guys from being together. And then he did not complete that act. So you gave him another hour. You went and staged this brick or block, whatever it was, and you waited for her in the kitchen to be bent over in the refrigerator. You took the rock, bashed her head in, and strangled her, okay? And based upon your very explicit words, we got a search warrant, went to the house, and the physical evidence in that place is exactly like you said. Exactly like you said. So someone who's all traumatic and not grasping the full situation is not going to be that explicitly detailed. See, and here's the other thing, okay? You're trying to tell us that you're the victim in all this.
No, I'm not trying to tell you the victim. I'm
Okay,
trying to
but-
tell you how she died. I'm trying to tell you what I did, but you're not listening.
Okay, we know how she died.
No! I'm trying to give her the full justice she needs. I understand I'm guilty. I understand I'm guilty for running. I'm guilty for taking the fall for him. I'm guilty for dumping her body. I understand that, but I'm really trying to tell you how it is. Like, it doesn't matter at the end of the day, because you're not going to listen. You really think I'm the one that did it. I
I'm
understand
listening.
it from my statements, but me and him talked about it back and forth. I talked to him. I promised him I was going to take the blame because I loved him.
Okay.
I told him I would.
And here's the other. So you guys go to Tempe, Arizona, okay? A man standing on the street corner is shot. Okay? Who shot that man?
I don't know. I don't know what that happened.
Okay. Well, it's funny because that's another thing that you said that you did. You did a drive-by shooting, and you shot this guy standing on the street corner, and you think he's dead. That's what you told someone, okay? So you're very explicit about that. And then you were taking your socks and soaking them in lighter fluid, setting them on fire, and throwing them out the window trying to start a fire, okay? So what gets me is, in the past, you've been so specific about all these things that have happened. Now, all of a sudden, it switches from I did this, to Jonathan did this, this, and this. Okay?
I did dump the body. I told you guys that, but I didn't kill her.
Then why would you say, okay, let me ask you this. Who's Michael Smith?
He's my trafficker.
He's your trafficker. Okay? So he lives in the Canton area, right?
Yes.
Okay. Did you exchange some text messages with Michael Smith telling him that you guys had killed Jonathan's mother?
You gotta remember something.
Yes, I did say that.
You did? Okay. And what were you trying to do? What were you trying to accomplish by telling?
I was trying to get help in some way. I was trying to let them know. But I love Michael.
So, Michael, you reached out to him because, in your words in these messages, you were wanting to join a drug cartel, right?
That's what Jonathan wanted, yeah. But I put that in the message.
And then, so you put on the message, you're going back and forth with this guy, and he explains to you that, hey, if you're going to join a drug cartel, because apparently he had the connections to put you in contact with the drug cartel. So he explained to you that you have to be able to kill people. And he asked you, have you ever killed anyone? You said, yes. And he said, who? And he said, who? and use it, oh, me and my boyfriend killed his mom, and so on and so forth, and he asks you specifics about names and so on and so forth, I can show you the conversation if you like.
No, I don't need to see
Okay.
it.
And let me tell you something about it. You know how this came into our possession? You want me to tell you? Mr. Smith is an informant
I don't know, he told me.
for the marshals. So the whole time this is going on and he's having this conversation with you, he's actually giving that information directly to law enforcement. So, and I'm looking at this message, and it didn't sound like somebody who's an innocent victim that was thrust in the middle of the situation.
Nobody's listening to me, it's no point.
Yes, you can.
Kleenex, that'd be helpful.
That'd be it. I can do it.
Can you take a real deep breath for me?
No, I didn't do it.
Hold on, just take a deep breath. I want you to take a real deep breath for me, okay?
No, they don't understand I didn't do it.
Stop. Here you go. Thanks, appreciate it. Yep. Here. Take some Kleenex, will you? Blow real hard, get it all out. Get it all out of your neck, good blood. Couple more. Remember when I told you they know more than what you think they know?
I know.
Okay, so here's the most important thing. Listen, this one. You keep jumping back to they're not believing me that I didn't kill her. Okay?
You want
Now,
me to
wait a
tell
minute,
them-
hold on. What's important is you tell them the truth about everything else. Everything. Tell them the truth about everything. Who this might
Okay, I'm gonna tell him.
Right, well, I mean, he
But it's
has,
gonna hurt me.
so listen to me. You keep jumping back to, they don't believe me. They don't have to believe you. They have certain things. What they're doing is quite simply asking you a question about Mr. Smith. And they want to see if you're going to answer consistent with what they already know that Mr. Smith has already told them, all right? Or given the text messages, all right?
Okay.
So you got to tell them everything about Mr. Smith. Whatever you texted him, that's fine. It is what it is, okay? The most important thing at this point is for you to be believable, okay? And remember about the ankle monitor? You know, he's telling you where you went because his ankle monitor was on all that time.
I remember, but I don't remember. That's the thing. Like I know the places, but I don't remember what we were exactly doing.
That's fine. That's fine. If you remember the places, you went here, you went there, and there. Whatever was sent by whatever text message was sent to your trafficker. Just tell them what you said. Okay? Be truthful. It's not going to hurt you in one way or the other. Okay? What matters at this point is, like I said, we're trying to work the best we can with a bad hand, okay? And the thing about it is they want truthful statements from you. So whatever you texted to Mr. Smith, be truthful about it. Whatever you said, you said. Whatever you texted, okay?
Okay.
Don't try to hide anything at this point. That doesn't help you at all, okay?
I know there's something wrong with me.
You know, when you say it's scary, what's...
Like I said those things. I did text the people, and I was trying to join the mafia because of Jonathan and stuff, because he put me in the mind that that's what life is about. Like, he told me that we could be just Bonnie and Clyde. That's basically why I keep referencing them, because of what he told me.
So what I want you to do is slow down, okay? And be truthful. And he's showing you the text. Did you text this guy? What did you say? What did you text? Okay? Just tell him the truth. It's not going to hurt you one way or the other at this point. Okay? Like I said, we're in the worst case scenario there is that you've already...
I want to go home. That's all I want you to understand. This is hurting me so bad.
What's hurting you?
For none of this to happen. Being locked up because somebody took somebody's life and it wasn't me, but I thought I could do this. It hurts. It hurts. It really hurts. I want to go home.
What hurts your head?
Being locked up.
Yeah. Well, you know that's not going to change for a while, right?
Right.
All right. Now, I can end this. I mean, you said what you said.
No, it's not going to end.
Well, I mean this interview, if you want me to, but I mean you haven't said anything different than what you've already told the FBI in the original one, okay? So what's important here is if you remember texting Mr. Smith, then tell him, yeah, I remember texting
I
him.
also remember texting the girl too.
Okay.
I didn't want to say that.
Well, when he asked the question, who's Mr. Smith? No, he's my trafficker. Do you remember doing this? If you did, yeah, I remember doing that. I remember saying that. Okay? What matters here is you just tell the truth. Like I said, they know a lot more than what you think they do. Okay? So what they're looking for is, are your answers consistent with what they already know? That makes sense to you?
Yeah.
Okay, so don't keep falling back to you're not believing me. Part of them believing you is if you answer them truthfully about other things, okay? Does that make sense?
No, but he turned it back on you and just want to act like you're an innocent victim. I don't care about being a victim. I don't care about being innocent. I'm a fucking survivor.
I hear you.
You don't understand. You don't understand at all. Like, there's really shit there. Why do you think I want to still, at the end of the day, take a blame for something I didn't do? It's because I really did love Jonathan. It don't matter if I say I love you to 1,000 people. I can do that all day long, but my heart goes out to Jonathan.
I hear you. I understand you're dealing with severe trauma. I got it. All right?
This is hurting me so bad.
So what's hurting you so bad?
It's everything.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, come on in. I'm wondering if we've reached the point that Judge Cook was concerned about as far as competency to be able to have the conversation. I mean, we're pretty much,
Well,
I'm not sure.
okay, what's making you so upset right now? You're feeling like we're not
don't-
listening to you?
It's not that. I'm not trying to say I'm a victim or none of that. I'm just trying to tell you how I see it as. That's how I see it as. I know I'm not right in the head, but that's how I see the situation. I know he's the one that did it, but I don't remember anything. I know the places you said. I know the people you're talking about, but I don't remember doing it. I don't remember being in an actual position of, like, being there. Like, I'm not conscious. I don't remember being conscious during it. I know of it. I know what you're talking about, but I don't remember it. Like, I don't remember being in that spot, and it hurts me because it's like, I'm a survivor. I'm not no victim. I don't like that word. It took a lot for me to go through what I did with Jonathan. I know that I say I love you to a lot of people, but I can do that all day long, but my heart goes out to him. I really love him. And I think what really happened at the end of the day is that I just came into the mindset that it was okay that she died. That it's okay to kill people and stuff like that, but it really isn't.
I'm listening, I wanna hear you out. I feel like you're really frustrated because we're not listening to you. I'm trying to hear what you're saying, okay? We both are.
I wanna go home. I don't wanna be.
Kaitlyn, the last thing we want to do is pin something on someone who didn't do whatever the crime is, okay?